Now let's move to the third section of the lecture, diseases of external auditory canal. And in this we will talk about the reactive group. In this section we will talk about otitis externa hemorrhagica and herpes zoster oticus. And then we will talk about malignant otis externa and eczematous otitis externa, seborrheic otitis externa, neurodermatitis, and primary cholesteatoma. Otomycosis. Otomycosis, as we mentioned before, auto is for ear and mycosis is the term used for fungal infections. So otomycosis is the fungal infection of the ear. So fungal infection of the ear mainly is due to Aspergillus niger, Aspergillus fumigatus, and Candida albicans. So all these are the common causative fungi that leads to otomycosis. And when you see the picture on otoscopy, this is the filamentous type of picture that is significant or diagnostic of the fungal infection or otomycosis. The clinical features of otomycosis or fungal infection of the ear is patient presents with very bad itching, intense itching, if there is discomfort or pain in the ear, and also there is watery discharge. There is discharge from the ear along with musty odor, and there is also patient complaints of heaviness or blockage of the ear. So all these are the clinical features of the patient with otomycosis or fungal infection of the ear. Itching, pain, musty odor. Musty odor is like the odor that is from the damp old places or that's there for a long time. That's musty odor. There is also ear blockage. When examined with the otoscope, there is a filamentous growth present. Filamentous growth is seen. That's significant of the fungal infection. Treatment is thorough ear toilet or cleaning of the toilet is for the to remove any infection or the discharge. Then other condition is otitis externa hemorrhagica. And in this, there is formation of hemorrhagic bullae on the tympanic membrane and deep meatus. So hemorrhagic bullae are present. You can see them as a reddish due to the blood. They are reddish bloody collection or bullae present. So hemorrhagic, you can see this reddishness and hemorrhagic bullae on the tympanic membrane. Then the herpes zoster oticus. This is very typical presentation of the herpes zoster. Vesicles are present. These are the vesicles present in herpes zoster, and when they involve the ear, it's known as herpes zoster oticus. Formation of vesicle on the tympanic membrane, meatal skin, concha, and post-auricular groove. So all these post-auricular groove, and then even on the nasal conchae and tympanic membrane. So all these are the vesicles of the herpes zoster. Very, very typical appearance of the herpes zoster vesicles. So when they reach the ear and they affect the ears, also known as the herpes zoster oticus, caused by herpes zoster virus. So it's the viral infection of the ear. Then we have malignant necrotizing otitis externa. Necrotizing, necrosis is the death. So it's the condition in which there is death of the tissues, and it's the infection which is necrotizing. So it's an inflammatory condition caused by Pseudomonas infection in the elderly diabetics or in those on immunosuppressive drugs. So it's common in patients who are elderly and who are diabetics. Elderly diabetics have weak immune system too, and in diabetics also, infections, once they are present, it's hard to treat them, and the cure is very difficult. Same with the immunocompromised patients or patients who are on immunosuppressive drugs. Their immune system is low, and when the infection is present, that infection can be very, very serious or life-threatening. So in this necrotizing infection also, it's caused by a Pseudomonas infection, and in the normal healthy patient with the normal immune system, maybe it's not as serious, but in patients when this infection is present in immunosuppressed patients or patients who are using immunosuppressive drugs, it can be very serious, and it's necrotizing, means cause death of the different tissues. Necrosis is the death of the tissues. So you can see it's otitis externa, very bad condition, and this all the blackishness is due to the necrosis of the tissue or death of the tissue. So this is necrotizing otitis externa. Diagnosis is by severe otalgia. Algia is the pain. Otto is for the ear. So otalgia is the pain in the ear. Then CT scan can be performed. Then gallium-67 treatment is by control of diabetes, by bringing the glucose level to the normal, can manage it. Toilet of the ear canal and antibiotics for the treatment of causative agent, in this the antibiotics which are effective against Pseudomonas infection. Next, we have eczematous otitis externa. Eczema is a condition also known as atopic dermatitis, when there is hypersensitivity of the skin to different antigens or different things. It can lead to eczema. So hypersensitivity, there is a dryness of the skin, there is scaliness of the skin, you can see it's red, there is very bad itching also. So hypersensitivity to infective organisms or topical ear drops such as chloromycetin or neomycetin, etc., it can lead to eczematous otitis externa. So hypersensitivity of the skin to different things can lead to eczema. So there is itching and there is scaliness and the dryness, and due to that itching, you can see there are also bleeding spots on the skin because it itches bad. Next is seborrheic otitis externa. Again, it's associated with the seborrheic dermatitis of the scalp. When there is bad seborrhea of the scalp, seborrhea of the scalp is the dandruff. The dandruff is the seborrheic of the seborrhea of the scalp. When people who have too much dandruff or dryness of the skin, it can also affect the ear, and there is again very bad itching, and itching can lead to further damage. You can see sometimes itching can lead to injury or trauma, and even infections can occur. So it is associated with seborrhea of the scalp. Neurodermatitis. Neurodermatitis is caused by compulsive scratching due to psychological factor. As the name shows, neurodermatitis. So lot of scratching, excessive scratching, compulsive scratching. They feel to scratch and they cannot stop scratching usually. And this scratching can lead to the damage, and when it is affect the ear, you can see this is the picture. Then there is very bad redness and swelling occur as a result of compulsive scratching. So neurodermatitis, even when this involves the skin, and there are bad patches on the skin present as a result of constant itching, and patient cannot stop this compulsive scratching. Next, primary cholesteatoma of external auditory canal. Cholesteatoma is the abnormal growth of cells or abnormal cells present. Usually it's in the ear is abnormality of bone of external canal, which is conductive for epithelium to invade it. So abnormality of the bone, what happens is this abnormality of the bone is conductive to epithelium, so epithelium grow through it, and there is abnormal cell growth, and this epithelium conduction of epithelium cause formation of cholesteatoma. This is the diagram that leads to formation of cholesteatoma. This is external auditory, external ear. This is tympanic membrane, and this cholesteatoma grows behind the tympanic membrane due to abnormality in the conduction of the bone of the external ear. So this is cholesteatoma, primary cholesteatoma. So that was all about the reactive conditions, in which we talk about eczema, seborrhea, cholesteatoma, and all these conditions that can affect the ear as a result of the involvement of the skin. So these are all the reactive groups of the ear. So thank you for watching sqadia.com.